Let's load up this game and get started.
After Spider-Man discovers this.
Welcome back. We're at Disco Elysium. From what I remember, at last, I turn up the a little settings, music. I like this music.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Ooh, Renee. That's a nice name. Let me go back in here real quick. I'm just gonna see. Did I check everything out here?
On second glance, someone...
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Yes, very unfortunate.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara.
So, what? The Union is a shipping enterprise. I wouldn't be surprised to find that out.
And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Okay.
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Coalition.
The drawer slides
Yeah, let's just say. Just to make sure. Got everything over here. Whew. Go ahead, get up. I did. Golden brown trousers are flare cut. Normal bell-bottom trousers would be boot cut, but these are far from normal. They are someone's piss-soaked, cum-stained party pants. Ugh. Ugh. Muscles are ready to burst out of the two-dimensional pit and into your three-dimensional life. Understandable. Used to be fancy. They used to really catch the light. Now it smells like someone took a piss in the armpits. Looks like someone skinned this blazer off some long extinct disco animal. It has an enigmatic white rectangle on the back and right sleeve. Thick latex gardening gloves in classic canary yellow. Maybe you should retire and take up gardening as a hobby. It's worth the time. A police coat made from heavy tarpaulin would be nigh wind and waterproof if there weren't 3 bullet holes scattered on the surface. The signature white rectangle of the RCM covers the garment's back. Did he get shot once?
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marsh. On. Arrête. Off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Understandable. There we go.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down.
Interesting.
The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Okay. Purpose has been fulfilled. What do you mean a purpose has been fulfilled?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
Okay. Cool.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Yeah, let me see it right here. Money! We have money.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Something special about this container, Lieutenant.
You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container.
Huh.
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked.
Persuade the door to open. I mean, it's worth a shot.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Kim. Money gained. Smells like blood. Interesting. There is money here. Understandable.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Everart, Everart, Everart. I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
Right.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then.
Right.
People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Okay, so you're not a sheep fucker.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Thank you. I did need to know that. Yeah, what are you doing with these containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Should try this.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
Has anyone told you why?
No, not really. Mr. Everart doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals.
Chemicals.
Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Okay.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Yeah, where's the harbor? Why is it empty?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
Understandable.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everart is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everart sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What kind of trouble?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everart telling them to take some time off.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearty.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger
Yeah,
boys
he's the
always used to
runt.
pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Everart and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this.
Jeez.
Mr. Everart and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everart. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here. Oh, we're on a strike.
So no...
No, but Titus and his boys got... Oh, him and his boys stirred up something in... I guess...
Easy, Leo.
Look at him. It's not too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Interesting.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everart's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everart is away.
That's good, Leo. That's real good, man.
Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everart put her through some fancy school and everything. East of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
Lawyerly, huh?
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
I'm sorry about that, Leo.
Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Okay.
So Everart trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job around
Yes,
here, Leo.
this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here.
Right.
And you guys are all right.
Right. What's in the container? What's in there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Oh, you want Mr. Everart then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everart and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everart and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this guy.
Oh, Mr. Everart is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Okay. Well, thank you, Leo. I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
Alright, let's go ahead and save this game. Enter. Look at this guy. Look at this big slug of a man.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
To a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Everart Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Yes, of course.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan of Felician, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Damn. Let's see here. Volition.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Keep it, I'm good.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but the world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
How do you know about my last
I
gun?
know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Ah, shit, composure. I wonder what happens if I load and then hit with composure. I'm gonna dump some points into composure real quick. All right, let's see what we can do here.
Before you is, with great effort,
Let's just get
with
through
a
this.
mixture of
Welcome. I'd offer you...
He looks
You go ahead.
Forget about that.
Please, Mr.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably...
Very well. I, too. Should you find your...
You're no Titan of Felician, but
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you are reasonable, so tell me.
the chair you're sitting on...
By this, should be sufficient.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money.
Yes,
With a grin, he points to the checker game.
Okay, now,
His slug-like lips move. The world is swallowed by a black hole. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. It's not like you left it loaded.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in
Okay,
it.
alright.
You always keep at
Little
least
bit
2
better.
barrels loaded. God, you're sweating. Your knee.
I wonder if I can pass that check. Composure. Is there anything I can do to give me better composure? Well, we'll see. Get this going.
Before you, with a mixture of
Welcome. I'd offer you.
He looks at
You go ahead.
Forget about that. What's with this?
Please,
It's nothing.
Yeah, I
very
don't
well.
said.
I too. Should you find.
You're no Titan.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use. So tell me.
The chair you're...
But this should take. It should be sufficient.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money.
You can take your
You
comically
need
large
it.
check and shove it up your ass. No, we're just gonna say keep it.
Okay. Now,
His slug-like lips move. The world is when he said, don't worry. He actually meant, be very worried.
How do you know about my lost gun? I'm not worried.
are you all? It's not like.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. Who does this guy think you are? Ronnie the Rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun, or unpaid bill, or forgotten name. You're the bad cop. You're probably more corrupt than him.
Wait, that's it? That's my point of pride here?
The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair than one would think is physically good. Now lean in with some corruption.
Listen, Everett, pal, we both know what makes the world
That
turn.
we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters.
Good way to keep your guests on edge.
Why? Thank you. It's always.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that.
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Somehow you managed to get yourself out of this. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
Aren't you gonna ask me how I got
Am I
it?
going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
You called me Mr. Dubois.
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everart, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
Memory's fine, I'm just testing.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his... I guess word has already reached him. No, it's just a brown folder.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Uh-huh.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
What kind of cop does it say I am?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
What? I'm not apologetic. I'm confident.
Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry.
Uh-huh.
You're a real man's man.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez.
Where'd you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
Ah.
I find that very...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
You're right, I don't. I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father.
Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry.
Let's try this.
As you look at the folder, Everart covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
Right.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you.
Right.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but. Say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But don't worry. This annoying thing I have is completely legal. I just need you to open a door.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Interesting.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
What about a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
I bet you don't even know anything.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Talk about my lost gun. No.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
Huh.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, your lost
Okay.
gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
Effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you called me. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great. Wouldn't want to get stuck in
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Appreciate it. This fucking guy. I don't like him. As good as it could have gone. Whew. Such is the way. Let's get going.
You're back before the cargo container.
Let's get going here. There we go.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
I knocked you out like a god of martial arts.
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. A little.
Isn't Everett your union boss white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
Jesus Christ. Still serve him.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, which is something your race naivistic communists never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
My jam is a mysterious fourth thing.
Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs?
I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done.
Jesus.
I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Who are the Seminoles? Yeah, tell me about
The
it.
South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you.
Ah, who was there before you, though?
We are the future. That is all you need to know.
Yeah. Were you born there?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the Pay.
So you did not come from here.
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
You're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. Think upon it.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
This will be our lucky racist.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput and an indented zygomatic bone.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna be right back, guys. about that. Let us return. We're not subscribing to his advanced race theory. Who the fuck is this dude?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Labor Utopia.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
See a
A
key
key,
to a
huh?
door?
What door is this key supposed to open?
I was hoping you could tell me. Could have belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I'm a hustle grinder. About a weasel than like a local polar weasel. Or for myself. I'm not really doing this for political
Oh,
reasons.
so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Understandable.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Understandable.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everart.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share. Aye.
So wages, pensions.
This stuff, they already covered.
Wouldn't you be grateful then? It's a lot more than most people have here. At least you got the benefits of something. However much you feed the wolf.
Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece.
How large share would you
All of
like?
it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Right. Are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
I mean, you probably shouldn't take what's not yours. Well, I mean, I think it's more open-ended than that. We'll just say.
Just the way the world works, boyadero.
Bossman Everart, you gonna tell me something about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
Okay. What does bossing the union entail?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
Understandable.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
The desk seemed kind of lavish.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
Okay.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
You seem to spend a lot of time thinking about the political situation.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
It doesn't sound that cool. Sounds antiquated, obsolete, passé. It's not disco.
No.
Unless I could, but what if?
No. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider, if need be, an endless torrent of time.
Any idea who killed the hangman?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Let's change the topic.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
All right, let's well, gotta go. Thanks, mañana. This dude. What are these dudes doing?
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
Honey, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
We shouldn't ask what the game is.
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Acting without hesitation, sure.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen.
Feel
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory.
right.
Already, your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
Right.
A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency.
Let go of the ball.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24.
What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak right tricep, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Sorry. Pétanque.
No, you don't. Our pétanque game is ruined. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Damn.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay, I will accept this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder. You never know. He might know something.
Renee,
This is a good vantage point.
I found your guard booth, Renee.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight. She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Must have something to do. Your booth is right near where the murder happened.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
So who was working your shift?
No one. The booth has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Everart created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Ah. You guys looking for small... Such dependency only weakens a man further. We need a program, get all the others back in the job market, keeps folks motivated. There's absolutely nothing wrong with terror collecting. It's my side thing, too.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that. I do it too. Everyone does it. It's an excellent side thing.
Yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
Right. Sorry, Renee.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Right. So, speaking of which, do you know anything about that hanged man in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals...
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
So, okay. Policemen. What about policewomen?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
There are no duties. To be clear, there are no duties RCM women couldn't carry out.
But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you, officer?
It would depend on the woman, Monsieur Rene. There are some women, just as there are some men, who are not able to do certain tasks. I believe it comes down to the person. And to blanketly say that there could not be a policewoman capable of something a policeman isn't, I believe, is a bit short-sighted. So, no, I don't think there's any evolutionary inequality at play here.
Really, officer. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea. But in real life, primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further.
You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created the crater?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay. Crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery being shot in Revachol?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Communards?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why shell them here, though, in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Deathblow sounds kind of grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Ooh.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
So, hold on, there was a coalition?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Is that why everything is so bombed out over here? All the heavy artillery, the beachhead. This place is just built on top of a battlefield graveyard that never got fully rebuilt.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame. never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us. This coalition seems quite capable. Nothing I think I just do. Commies just don't understand how money works. This is true. This is very true, unfortunately.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Everart, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. For this is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philippe III factor into this? Monument over there, isn't it?
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. It had nothing to do with anything.
So Frissel then, what was he about?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
So, what exactly is suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Saw the statue of Philippe.
Ah, yes! King Philip III, on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule then?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself, though.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
Let's talk about something else then.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, psst, psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
We really should all stop building love. Really worked out for me, actually.
Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings.
How come
right?
there's... What do you mean, how come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie. Eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings, regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
It is too tiring, but sure.
Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
What the hell? This is fucking insane.
Whoa. A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Kim, it looks like we got a construction code violation.
Sure. They never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Relachel looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
Sure. Understandable.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Why are we looking at this wall?
You have no clue. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Locked. What's this?
Hey, up here, Piggo.
Big O. You spilt the paint.
A striking woman leans against the...
Good afternoon, Officer Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she...
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM?
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
It happens quicker than a shooting star.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Sure. Thank you. That's all
Of
for
course, Detective.
Go ahead and save our game.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me about Wild Pine. What can you tell me about the
Everything.
strike?
Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I wanted to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Wouldn't want to disturb an octopus. An octopus, I will slay it.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the man means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the...
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
I mean, Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
So the strike is connected to the lynching?
Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later.
Ah, okay. So how are the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone...
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ah.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What do you think of Everart? What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and every worker, a member...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Over-aggressive commie posturing seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
You just want to turn it into a worker co-op. Which, that's all that is. What does that even mean, though? Most of them probably don't know what that means.
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Workers can't be kings, the king is the king. So what are you gonna do? Actually, that is pretty funny.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Mm-hmm. Scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
You mean strikebreakers?
If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Ah, what happened to Gomon?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget.
Oh my
Gaumont
god.
is short of stature, you see.
Jesus. Okay, not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
So what do you think of Everett, then?
Everart Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really, though?
Of course not. Everart is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick it with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Sounds like you should take the rapier to him. That's Everett, alright.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I remember hearing something about Edgar.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everart does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the Union itself? Outside of Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everart and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
The workers seem to be in a position where they feel like it does something for them, but cannot deny that he abuses his position of power in ways that suit him and, yes, the people that he handles. But I want to say that, well, he does do good for the people that he is supposed to serve. I feel like what he does, he only does because it is in the interest of both him and them, but purposefully him first. He hides behind this visage, this wool, as if he's doing something specifically for the workers and only the workers. But he does things primarily out of his own interest. And this thing with the strike, I do believe that I agree with Miss Joyce here, that, you know, it's a bit unrealistic to assume that why does this one port get to be members of the board, all 2,000? That's just something, it's a negotiation tactic. You ask for something that's more than what you want. So really, what I assume he actually wants is for him and his brother to be put on the board of this company. Okay, yep, it's not going to happen that the 2,000 workers, the 2,200 workers, are going to be added to this board. But really what Mr. Everett and his brother Edgar, I'm sure, want is to be members of this board, to negotiate, and use that as a position to get into a better, I guess, standing in life. They're going to completely forget about all these people that they were under. They were just a means to an end for them. And they hide behind the ideals of being a worker. They hide behind the ideals of okay? Yes, we all deserve overtime pay. We all deserve a healthcare plan. You know, like everybody deserves to go to the doctor. Everybody, if you're working extra, you should be getting overtime. These are basic things. Because these people were so desperate and they've gotten them those basic things, their lives are better because of Mr. Everett, but only to the point that anybody else could have gotten them these things. And I think he's in a position, him and his brother are in a position to do great damage to this already struggling city. So, while the Union did improve their lives, I don't want to say that they're a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. I want to say that it is true he was an effective advocate for getting in these basic things, but anybody could have done that by organizing a strike. That's what a union does. But a socialist mob, he has a guy like Measurehead working for him. Now, I get if you're desperate, you need to have people who you don't necessarily want on there, but you put him in a high position of power. He's his muscle, and he lets him do things. Like when we were rolling to kick his ass, he just let Measurehead he just let him not let the RCM, the literal police, through. They're a mob. They're a mob hiding behind socialism. They're not sincere. They're only looking out for what they want. They don't actually care about making this place a better place. I'm under the impression that they only want to make their own lives better, and they don't care about anyone else. So, socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman,
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
What was her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all we needed about that. Let's go ahead and change the
Of
topic.
course. How else can I help?
So you're on a
Why,
boat.
yes I am.
Not a lot of people on boats here. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business. My sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Not a lot of people on boats. Okay, I think I got a handle about
Good.
the boat situation. Wild Pines, what do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't...
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So that's what they do.
Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
Understandable.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain.
What are the other Indo tribes?
Son Baptiste, ELYISUIM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in a good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Revenue isn't profit. Their operating expenses are probably about a fourth of that, I want to say. Plus, assuming tax deductions, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Now, a real is about a cent. So 20 billion, I'll just do the math here. One, two, three, one, two, three, yep. Another. $20 billion real divided by 100, which means, yeah. Doing the math real quick. Give me 1 sec. That's 2 million. That's 20 million. That's 200 million. That's 2 billion. That's 20 billion. Divided by 100. So that's about 200 million full real dollars. If you assume real is like a dollar. So I got $8.37. They do about $200 million worth of revenue. Like I said, their operating expenses are probably about a fourth of that with tax deductions. So they make about that's a reasonable amount of money, especially in what seems to be a poverty-stricken fucking universe. You know, post-war, there's not really a whole lot going on. So they're doing pretty well for themselves. So, yeah, I thought it was supposed to be big time. That's when you say it, like, you say 20 billion real, that's like me saying, oh, I got 2 million cents in my fucking bank. 2 million cents. That's only about $20,000. So, yeah, I figured it would be big time, you know, more than that.
And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions. Walpines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility.
It's not really a responsibility to pay for your workers and your employees. I mean, that's kind of what it is to be a business. But I get what you're saying.
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the Great Unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps starting out with the royal monopoly, though.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed, or been absorbed. To survive, Walpines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
Yeah, but what does a huge system like that want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
Interesting. Okay, so what can you Tell me about it.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
I can do business with him for not champion I would have chosen.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. Corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt... How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take?
Intellectually speaking, it would be... Tell her she'll like you for it.
Mr. Everart is helping me find my gun.
Oh.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear he's able to contain the...
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Right.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
Mr. Everart is helping me find my gun. God. No, he says almost ready.
Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you.
Perhaps he is.
I'd rather talk about something else for now.
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Yes, the lynching.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Not this world, not this city, nothing. Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in the world.
Oh, dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
Huh.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Of course. The situation is extremely volatile.
Let me go ahead and... I need to put points.
You're back. Good. What? I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal Of course, the situation...
Let me go ahead and quick save again.
You're back. I'm afraid I can't say any more.
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
they're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
Potentially.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really, I thought this was going also with henchmen.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
What do you propose, that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
What do you propose, that we don't investigate drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
They have to have more ears.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
Understandable. Let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me about the drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
So, you believe that the materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
Interesting. And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Everart and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Am I gonna need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview.
Her irises are light green, like the river.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver...
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement.
No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Here's your chance, officers.
There's no coincidence that Laurie's stranded here, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Understandable.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
We already have some suspicion that one of the drivers was present. We don't need to share that. What proof do you have?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
You think the strike is being funded by drug ingredients?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Understandable. Alright, what about, let's go ahead.
Yes?
We will take this.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need.
Thank you.
In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Understandable. Alright, thank you.
A sturdy metal door. The door rattles again. But
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. I already... Go check the back...
backyard door.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just the door.
Stop banging on... Doesn't matter. Who are you?
From within.
Ha! No. I already... Go check the back...
Backyard door.
Interesting.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent.
The streets will not flow red.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Yeah, when was the last time you were tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
Keep going. Yeah, what are you
The
looking at?
lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish feature. The woman on the boat doesn't.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. It's moneyed
Posh
restaurants
restaurants
used to
and
posh
rich
restaurants.
people.
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor.
You do anything to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So you don't know what to write? Why are you committed to facing... Okay.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home, and Mono is here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Yeah?
It's hooliganism. I love public art.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit.
Actually, there is a shortage of...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Understandable. Goodbye, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate.
Alright, let me see if I can't, Hey, Kunes. Fuck off.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
I'm definitely thinking about it, you little fucking kid.
Apparently, she doesn't. Logic error. She's not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig.
Fucking kid, dude. I swear to God. Okay, alright. Let's go over here. Check out. Orange bum hat. Those are fed. Alright, we probably gotta go in here to get there.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air. And there's a knocker. You knock silently.
I guess no one is in?
The leather upholstery, in fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you.
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it. On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Everart we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task.
The door is right here. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door unlocks
When I
with
have
a
my
small...
locked in.
There might be important...
I'm going inside the apartment. You're not gonna tell me I can't.
This is the flag of Revachol. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around. It's an optical, atmospheric.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind.
Interesting. Just freaking loot this guy's
A
apartment.
row of mugs sits on a little ring. There's something disdainful in the... It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these
I
people.
don't see these stereotypes as, I think, honest acknowledgements of a difference. Nah.
No one's telling you to like him. The lieutenant picks up.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Okay. I do not know why. Okay, so I probably need to go up there then. I understand. Let us go.
There must be another way into the building.
That is so loud.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
No trouble for me, I just want to know what's going on.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view,
Is it really that important?
like a nervous cat. He...
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not...
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
Okay, well, you have a very good view about where this hanging body is. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible.
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you two. Some more
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word?
You didn't answer the question.
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How intriguing. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette.
He's not
under
going to
the
tell
dull
us.
and darkening sky.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
We'll try.
Time to bring out your secret charm. Tears and begging.
What do you...
Show him your emotional side.
You want me to cry?
No, for God's sake, I don't want you to cry. Listen, I really have to go. Good luck with the investigation.
Damn. Goodbye, sir. Thank you for your help.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
He didn't have anything important to say anyway.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Let's go check out the door near the pier again.
Alright. Right in the dick, Kuno. Right in the dick. Well, we're almost done. The bull. The fuck is this? Things I've seen and said. I don't think we actually went inside here. Hello, ma'am.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome. And
Her face looks powdery and painted from all the makeup.
So you're the owner of the store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Your daughter's the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, she was.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
A 10.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish. Okay. You know she's been biting her nails?
God. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life.
I don't think she can do anything.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what...
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
That is true, and obviously the will of the free market, but maybe make an exception for your daughter.
She stands stiff and she's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Right.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her in there. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes. My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Grand Couronne?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds.
And your husband's
Better
also...
times ahead for sure.
He's also involved in the bookstore.
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
Is she your only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Sure.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
That's fine. No problem, ma'am. Let's move on. I had something else in mind.
The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer.
What if I want to buy a
Then
book?
why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself.
All right, I'll take a look then.
She smiles and nods.
Oh,
seeming
well.
Hello again, esteemed.
Sure. Certainly.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and crime fiction. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to act. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives.
That's messed up.
Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre.
Dick.
The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen dies?
Oh no. Turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Ah, there any more?
Yes. There's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Sure.
Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does this speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
It's probably right. I'm complicated. It's gotta be something else, though.
Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere.
Not that
Is
either.
it because the smoking dame in the slinky red dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on?
That's definitely it.
Yeah, this is the book for you. See the way she's suggestively holding that pistol? That's symbolism.
It's exactly the kind of character Harry Dubois is. I'm not really interested in looking at all these books, unfortunately.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and...
I'm not interested. I don't have money anyway. I mean, everything interesting about fascism was their magic.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Oh.
Out of the rain and into the gutter. Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
What do you mean better? I doubt that.
No, you don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
You know,
Party
like
eyes?
a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. Good thing she didn't say party eyes. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
I've been partaking on narcotics.
Oh, baby. That's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important things.
So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
I don't really like this detective deduction game. Learned something about myself today.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
She's doing homework. You don't need to ask her. Erotica without the actual erotica. We're almost done. First day's almost over. Let's go in here and...
The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption. A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Physique, morale, intellect, health. 290. We don't have the money for that. We need to go talk to guard. What do we got? Open apartment door, jam, map, visualization, polls of Eternite, perception, violation. Interesting. I've already done all this. Open lock containers. Ah, okay. I could have used that on the lock container over there. Okay.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. Occasionally, as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely... Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please. It's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Ah, you got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
We don't need anything more from you. Thank you, sir.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted. The door does not. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. Old cobalt paint, rough on...
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Understandable. What's this dude doing? All about money, you know, that's right. All of it.
Real mature, man. What exactly were you trying...
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
Don't I get something for effort? Hold on, this is...
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square.
So we're cool?
Not entirely cool. You still owe me 100 real. If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you back up there. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here. Wait, what? Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was him.
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer?
Maybe I have a vendetta against
I
it?
can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie.
A tender type of hope.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me?
She said you're nice, but also her employer. Come on, nah, I just flattered.
Really? I
Yep.
should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess.
We were sort of hoping there would be a gun, an expensive jewel, or at least a sword in it for you, if you deliver the message. Oh well.
Trash container.
Mine?
Thank you for clearing that up.
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out.
I thought as much.
Well, yes.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist.
I'm not.
No one was implying you were, officer.
What do you need?
It concerns the case.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the... They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on...
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even men on strike.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or laying low after the, you know, lynching. They probably fucking killed that guy or something.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
Mysterious blue door, tell me about it.
Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
You know what's behind it?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not
Fine, okay, little.
Yep, you want to know.
But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room and broken window, 100 real. Like what? I was rarely enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. In time or space? That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. Entertain the thought.
Yes?
Ungainly and rambling. Suicide of Krasma. Waste of reality. Huh. Damn. Need to pay for damages. Understandable. A little late for that. I don't have money.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
Nah.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera. The man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor.
You're looking at the destruction. Sorry for this.
No problem, officer.
The door is closed. There is no... You hear the shout. This door can open. Still no arm. Still, the lieutenant gives you a...
Interesting.
Yes?
Let me go over here. Let me go down here. Let's see. Let's try to see if we can, I don't know, get some money. That's
Hello again, sweetie.
Um,
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles.
You must be joking. Although our...
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everart, the union leader.
No.
Try to force a tear out of your duct. Really rip into the whole emotional aggression thing.
Oh god, I'm gonna die in the street, aren't I?
Officer, get a hold of yourself, please.
Sweetie, I'm sorry, but I think you need more help than I can give you. Oh no, I'm so sorry, I don't...
Yes?
little late for that.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist?
10-4, come in. 10-4, I hear you. What does he want now? He's asking for... Is he I don't think he... Don't give that asshole anything. Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
Paramount investigation and grant me more.
He says it's... He isn't. Get request denied, sir. He says he's in... Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before... Vigmar said... What did he say? Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your colleagues are also here. Over.
He's trying to keep you from further embarrassing yourself in front of your colleagues.
He terminated the connection. I guess he was in a hurry.
The radio falls silent, and...
What was that? It's okay, detective.
We call it subterfuge in the force. You ever heard of it? What, you've never seen a man getting a panic attack before?
We should get on with our tasks. Work always helps me center myself. Now, anything else?
I should go ask the lady for money. She'll give me money. We'll do the end of the... We'll ask her for money. I'm sure she's got some. Go in a quick save first.
You're back. Good.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy. Look at that lady. Take a gander.
What
a
lustrous
well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Positively stacked, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes. Red. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is within reason. Now look at you.
Okay.
You misery-clad simian. Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels on. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
As I should be. I should make my own goddamn money right now. I'm not ashamed.
Yes. You're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to believe...
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Let's try it.
Voila. You're doing it.
Help me, I'm poor. I need money to keep living. Can I have some money, ma'am?
Of course. How much do you need? That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She removes a few notes and hands them. There must be about 200 real, that's it.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I'm an honorable policeman, one of a few good men in Rivershore. Funny you should worry about.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, and seem...
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today?
God, would she give me 10,000? I don't think she would give me 10,000. But let me ask for 10,000. I'm gonna go ahead and ask for it. I want to see.
You're back. Good.
Is what... Look at that lady. A well-positive... While these are within reason. Now look, you're poor. Yes.
As I was saying...
I am sorry. Surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one.
Excuse me? I didn't, of course.
Unfortunate. I'm gonna load it again.
Is what you look at that lady. A well positive. Wow. These within reach. Now look at your poor. Yes.
As I was saying.
Give me some money, please. It worked the first time.
You're back.
Is what you look at that. A well positive. Wow. These are the within reason. Now look. You're poor. Yes.
As I was saying. If there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate.
I am sorry.
Come on. I need this. I should have just... It's like, hey, you want money? No, you don't get no money.
Is what you want. Look at that. A well positive. Wow. These are within reason. Now look. You're poor. Yes.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be...
Voila. You're doing it.
Can I have some money, man?
Of course. How much do you need? Come now. Nobody carries that much cash on them. And even if I did, I still would not give you 10,000 real. I would rather buy some...
Her tone makes clear that you violated some kind of rich person taboo.
I like high fidelity.
I like high fidelity anything, sir. Now, try again, but lower.
Ah, that's what happened.
That's a good sum.
She removed... There must be...
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
What are you not worried about? Honorable policeman with a stupid manner of show.
You're right, ma'am. That donation...
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the...
That was all I needed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Exactly what we needed. Unfortunate.
The dented yellow... The dented... There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. Your toe has suffered damage.
Cool. You really showed that...
He does not actually think it's cool. If any, the lieutenant...
Let me load. I'm just gonna... I had to do the fucking roll again. I should have just saved.
You're back.
Is what you look at a well positively. Wow. These within... Now look. You're poor. Yes.
As I was saying, if there's any...
Voila. You're doing it.
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring all of it with me. That's a good sum.
She removed... There must...
So, I hope I didn't just bribe...
You're right, ma'am.
Which he most certainly...
That was all. Thank you. And then I'm going to quick save. Let's go ahead and get this going. Why, thank you. Yes, I am rich. He's like, yes, I am rich. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and open up this container.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags, with a well-oiled crack. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine. Just the feeling. A warning from some part of you. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Okay.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
For extra content.
Wow. An Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. half wrapped in paper tissues. It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social...
Interesting. Reminds me of the mug collection we saw in our weasel's apartment. Maybe he or she...
An interesting little...
Or it may just be a coincidence.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages. You've done this before. No. Search it. Good A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets. The belt is missing. That's it.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise...
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks something larger. A clipboard.
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has... If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? Well, lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
Understandable. So we did that. I wonder if I can do this.
An inconspicuous pile of the...
Give me one moment. A quick save. Just
An inconspicuous pile, because it's nice and rhythmic pattern.
Let me just load that real quick.
An inconspicuous pile, because it's...
Really? A 70% skill is just...
An inconspicuous pile, because there's a...
There we go.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Yeah, there we go.
What is this, then?
Yes, let's go.
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't studying the... There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there?
Ah, yes. 40 cents. There we go. Now we have done it. Now I can go up here. Ah, yes, loot. Please go here. I would like to go here. Such is that way, okay. Let's go ahead and pay guard. I feel like I really need to put a point into suggestion. Just because. Let's go to Whirling in Rags and take this.
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, sweetie,
You must...
It's not easy.
You must...
It's not easy to assert your right to... Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Understandable.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None. The trash collection service, CS Municipal.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. Thank you anyway.
Yes. Do I have a shaker in my...
It's not a shaker. It's...
Am I wearing a little boat? Am I smiling? Do you see me smile? That's right.
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
An alcohol-operated detective.
Even more reason for me not to serve you, sir. Was there anything else you needed? Yes. Well... Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
Understandable.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as...
Alright, leveled up again. That's nice. If it was up to me, I should have made my character. I should have made him less Motorix. Like medium, high. Now instead of just this and this, it's just mind things. Body isn't working right. Makes sense for an alcoholic cop to not have a nice body, but
this is the door.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier.
Alright, let's go. Let's go for our nightly,
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economy. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
how can you assure...
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power project. We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Yes. The last time was...
He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. a self-contained past event.
So Kim has killed somebody.
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility. Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. Yes, the international community's mission in Ravachol, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Ravachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
I didn't know you smoked.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes.
Oh man, he looked so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes.
That's fine.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit.
Right then.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we didn't even look at but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. As for the interview, we conducted an interview with Everart. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with you.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everart.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
Big relief.
Moving on, we tried to interview the White Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something with this man...
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until you get up tomorrow.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
Moral intern, what is
the
that?
Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the realm. What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set
Innocence
forth
of
by
the Lord
innocent
lay 4 centuries
Those
ago.
others.
What's the
Interesting
symbol?
question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline.
Something kind, something like the dog.
There is, what do they believe?
Those others.
The moral intern are a fact. Do you?
They're bad out there. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois. Immigrants liberal kit. Fuck Jesus.
In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy it much.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, an aerostatic passes overhead.
They really don't like us here. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs. We run this city. West of it's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Me too.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make...
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Cool.
Mazovian Socioeconomics.
Okay.
0.000% of communism has been built. Evil, child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over, personally, with...
Oh, an extra 4 XP. I don't know about that, man. Useless. The fucking dialogue option's useless.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned.
Quick save.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it.
Quick save real quick.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. The faucet is quite terribly mangled. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Encyclopedia. I need to put more into this freaking thing? Are you kidding me? Close.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with the expression. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely
God, it
covered
doesn't
in
even
steam
do
anymore.
anything.
It's your still.
I wonder.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
I wonder. I'm gonna try it 3 times. I'm just gonna not do it.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's like
Oh
something
my God, it did
snaps in you. A nerve ending.
Oh my God.
A thought. A sadness. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Sure. Go to rest.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out, and then sleep doesn't. And then sleep doesn't come. Maybe it's the bed's fault. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still lit. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep.
Right. Jesus.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? You're not kidding anyone, Harry. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? You know who I am. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This was that's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings, they were only cramping your descent. You failed, Elysium. You're not coming back from shit, thrashing around in that high conductivity. Everything. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
My mind is tired and broken.
Your mind is what now?
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. Oh yes, party, but time to go to work in the shit factory.
Jesus.
Good going, buddy.
Is that how it's gonna be now when I close my eyes?
Wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Speed is a potent central. It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell, man.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Alright, everybody. We're going to go ahead and save, and we're going to call that end of the stream for tonight. That has been another session of Story Stream for Disco Elysium. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want to see more, just hit that follow button so you can get notified next time I go live. Take a look at my schedule. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for all VODs that are not available on my channel. But as always, I had fun. I hope that you